Yeah. Oh, there.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Fallback Sunday. Time frame, daylight savings time's kicked in. And welcome to the Unity Spiritual Center. And welcome to those online. Thank you so much for joining us today, and it's good to see you all. My name is Joanne, and I'm here to co-host with Reverend David.
Well, thank you, Joanne. The Unity movement embraces the inherent worth and diversity of every individual, fostering an environment of acceptance and respect for people, all people, without distinction of any kind. And we come together to support and encourage one another in our individual spiritual journey. So wherever you are in that process, we're delighted that you're with us today.
And while it is a well-traveled land, we would like to respectfully acknowledge that the land in which we gather today is the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of the First Nations, comprising of the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi peoples. We are grateful to work, learn, and live in this area.
And I do want to introduce our music director, Angelica Shaka. Angelica, so delighted to have you here with us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
And also, Joanne, thank you for being our co-host today.
Well, lovely. I like being here.
And I'm going to invite you to open us in prayer.
All righty. So I picked a prayer from the Daily Word. I really do like the Daily Word prayers. And this one is, so personalize it for yourself, please. And this one is, one with all beings, I contribute to a consciousness of peace. People of diverse cultures and belief systems around the world all desire peace. Each person is an expression of God, an instrument of peace, and I align my thoughts with these like-minded people, opening the way to harmony and spiritual freedom. Together we tap into the power of love to bless one another and every being in the world. We look beyond prejudice or narrow-mindedness to envision a world of respect, understanding, and oneness of purpose. Our oneness in thought, purpose, and understanding builds an environment of lasting peace. I view the world through the eyes of divine love, and I affirm goodness, love, and peace. My vision of oneness and harmony contributes to a consciousness of peace. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis. Amen.
And so it is. Amen. I just want to remind you that we do have a prayer chaplain that's available after service every Sunday. And today's prayer chaplain is Mariette Jones, and she will be delighted to pray with you. She's not here quite yet, but she will be delighted to pray with you after the service if any of you would like someone to pray with. And that's a wonderful service that we provide here at Unity Spiritual Center, Windsor.
And another service we provide is our prayer request box. And the prayer request box is right here by the podium. And there's slips, and you just fill them out and insert them in the box. And the chaplain team, our prayer chaplain team, will hold these requests in prayers with you.
Also, Unity has the longest running prayer telephone line. They have been providing prayers since World War I, actually. And you can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY, 1-800-NOW-PRAY at any time, 24 hours, 7 days a week. And you can find someone on the other side, on that other end of the line that is willing and able to pray with you. And they're great joy to pray with you. So if you feel like you need someone to pray with at any time, just call that 1-800-NOW-PRAY.
Now it's time for some music. Angelica, what do you have for us?
All right, good morning, everyone. If you are willing and able to join us standing, that would be awesome. Our first song is actually going to be I Release and I Let Go. Okay? Here we go. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. If there's a time in your life you think you have to do it all for yourself, you must know the grace of God is sufficient. You must know the love of God is at hand. And now you can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Thanks, everyone. Great job. All right. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. 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 And you will. Thank you all so very much. You may be seated.
Thank you, Angelica. Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor is a progressive spiritual community that emphasizes personal growth, living consciously, and making a positive difference in the world. And as part of the New Thought movement and the Worldwide Unity movement, we strive to be compassionate, inclusive, open-minded, service-oriented, abundant, and spirit-filled.
Unity teaches that each person is a unique, individual expression of God. Our realization of that truth evolves as we expand our consciousness through prayer and meditation. Unity emphasizes that we create our experience of life according to the thoughts and feelings we hold in mind. Affirmative prayer is the highest form of creative thought, while meditation stills the mind and heightens our awareness with spirit, each other, and all of life. Living from the awareness transforms our lives and the world.
So each month we have a new affirmation, and so today's affirmation for November is, with each breath, I connect deeper with my inner light and spiritual essence. Would you repeat that with me? With each breath, I connect deeper with my inner light and spiritual essence.
Okay, Angela, do you have a special song for us today? Thanks.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yesterday, a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful as the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle again. Then the child moved 10 times around the seasons, skated over clear frozen streams. Words like when you're older must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels round the town, and they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet to slow the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. And the years spin by, and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams, and plenty before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game, and go round and round and round in the circle game. Thank you all very much.
Angelica, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that song. And you do it so beautifully.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Well, welcome everyone. And I see we have people over here that are celebrating El Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. And actually, last year we had more people dress up, including me. and I just totally forgot about it this But anyway, thank you. It is fun, and thank you for doing this. Really enjoy it. Welcome to everyone out there, and also to those of you online. We're always delighted to have you here. I always like to start with a joke if I can, because again, I think laughter really uplifts us all. And so this guy goes to his doctor, and he says, I think my wife is going deaf. She never answers my questions. And the doctor said, well, do this test. When the next time you see your wife, if she's not, when she has her back to you, I want you to stand several feet away and ask her a question. And if she doesn't respond, get a little bit closer and ask her the question again. And keep on doing that until she answers. And he said that'll give me an idea, of where things are, and it'll help you understand as well. So he goes home, and sure enough, she's got her back to him. She's standing at the stove cooking. And so about 10 feet away, he says, "What we're having for dinner, honey?" And there was no response. So he walks a little bit closer and he says, "What are we having for dinner, honey?" And there's still no response. So he finally, gets right up behind her and says, "What are we having for dinner, honey?" And she turns around, for the third time, chicken. I just found that one this morning. And I liked it. I'm glad you enjoyed it too. So on first Sundays of every month, we do what we call Divine Conversations. And so we invite someone up here to just, it might be with myself, it might be with one of our board members, but we invite someone up to just talk about their spirituality and just have a conversation and let all of you in on it. So today, we're going to have Michael Grieves, and most of you know Michael. Michael was here. I got here in 2017 is when I arrived. And Michael was here, and I'll have to ask you when you get up here how long that you were here before me. But he's been here for a long time. Michael's he's just one of the just most loving-hearted people I know here. And he's always, both he and his wife, Carol Ann, like I said, they've been members for such a long time. They are so helpful. They volunteer all the time. They have such big, beautiful hearts. And it's been a pleasure knowing both of you. Michael sort of, he does all sorts of things. He's a musician. I know he plays the piano. He plays the banjo. He plays the guitar. He plays the harmonica. He loves music. He also wrote a book. He served in the Postal Service for 35 years, I believe. Yeah, 30 years. And he has such a wonderful just presence, I think, a spiritual presence, and I've always appreciated that, and I'm just delighted to invite him up here and let us have a conversation. So please give him a hand. And this water is for you if you need it, right there. Oh, great. Okay. So, Michael, tell me, how long have you been a member here? What year did you?
When we started, we were going to 80 Knox, which is on Wyandotte Street, not too far from here, and I don't know whether. I know there wasn't much room there compared to here. I remember the room that they did any cooking or food service and storage and everything was about the size of the men's washroom upstairs. So it wasn't very big and it was really crowded. But there were a lot of people and it's very enjoyable and it was great. And then when we got this place, it was like a miracle. It was really like a miracle.
That's what I always hear when, because they were the original place that were, and I wasn't here at that time, but the original place was very small. And then when they found this, they were just sort of in awe of all the space and everything that we were getting. So, yeah, that's wonderful. So what year did you discover Unity?
Discover?
Unity, yeah.
Unity?
Yeah.
Carol's trying to tell me there. Yeah, 2001 we're going by.
Oh, okay, 2001.
So
okay.
that was over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I met Carol in I guess you could say a Bible-thumping church. It was called Worldwide Church of God. And they, worked everything by the Bible, which is good. But of course, we knew it all, sort of. And but I was so happy to meet Carol Ann there. And so when it kind of dissolved, believe it or not, and I had kind of left it just before. I was just I don't know, sort of tired of churchy things, And so I didn't want to go back to a church for a while. I needed a break. I had a little break. And but Carol heard about Unity from a friend of ours and started coming, and then I came with her a few times, and then I started coming more and really started to like it. And this was at 80 Knox, and then all of a sudden I was an usher, you know, and it was all great fun. And so that's how I discovered Unity.
Yeah. Well,
I,
you
at
know,
first I didn't want a church, you know.
yeah. Well, you and I are very similar because you know I grew up in an Assembly of God, which is it's Pentecostal, very fundamentalist and everything. And by the time I grew up from little boy, you know, in that church, and really enjoyed it. But then by the time I got into high school, it just, you know, there's just a lot that wasn't making sense to me. And so I literally, I graduated from high school and I dropped out of church. For 15 years, I never went to a church, except maybe for a wedding or a funeral, and that was it. And then, like you, somebody invited me, said, hey, you might like this Unity Church, and that was in Austin, Texas. And so I went to the Unity Church and sat in the back pew and just listened to the service and literally broke down crying. And I had just, because I felt at home, and I bet you that's the way you felt
Wow.
as well.
Yes,
You know,
well, I feel at home more now than then. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just in a different space.
Yeah.
I just see, I don't know. One of the things I did know, you know, I said I wasn't excited about going in with another church. Well, one of the things I realized about myself was that I was sort of quiet and reserved, and you know, and I realized I needed the community, you know. So one part of your brain tries to tell you not, you know, you don't need this, blah blah blah, but you know, when I thought about the community, and we have the most beautiful community here that I know of, you know, so I just really enjoy it, and it's so open and free, and I just it's wonderful to be here. Yeah. So.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Yeah. And it is. It's really a beautiful community.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate to have this beautiful space here and such a wonderful core of volunteers. And you and Carol Ann have just been phenomenal volunteers. You've volunteered in so many different ways. And I can really see how much you really love this community. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
So tell me a little bit, what really, you know, so other than the community, what really drew you to Unity? What really clicked with you when you discovered Unity?
What really clicked? It was the community. You mean other than community?
Yeah, other community. I mean, what was it about its beliefs and was it its openness or with?
It was the openness and the honesty, and not being pretentious. Like a lot of places, you know, like we know it all. You know, either you come with us or you're gonna burn in hell or whatever is gonna happen. I don't know, but so it's very unpretentious, and we're just us, you know. And whoever comes up in whatever situation. To us, we just like, okay, it's good. It's all good, you know.
Well, like we say, I mean, you know, we're all on this spiritual journey together, and wherever you are on that spiritual journey, you're welcome here. And we're all at different places. I mean, we all have different lives, but we just, you know, you are welcome here. And we're happy to have you on this journey with us. We're happy to be with you on this journey.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's really so well put. Yes, yeah. Wow, so great. Yeah. So yeah, so I wanted to talk about basically the journey from my point of view. Can I do that now?
Sure.
Okay. So it's where I am now. I've always been of a kind of I would say a mystical nature, and what I'm going to describe, some people would say is mystical, but I don't call it mystical. It's just common sense, and it's easy. And so when Carol and I were in that last church, the Worldwide Church of God, which was wonderful, and when it ended, some of the people were like, had complaints and whatnot, you know, and we both see it as a wonderful learning experience, and yeah, so it was just time to go when it was done, and so we did, like, we would, there was an unspoken thing you did in that church, and that was you prayed a half an hour a day and you studied the Bible half an hour a day, which doesn't sound like much, but a half an hour of praying, I just realized this very recently, that's substantial, you know, and what I realized is what it kind of taught me to do when I was in that half an hour, and Carol and I were like, we really wanted to do it, you know, we just loved doing it, and we did it separate, of course, but when you're praying for half an hour, you really end up talking to the loving God source, you know, to the Mother, Father, God. You just talk, and you really kind of are able to bare your soul and just be there, and you understand that that source knows you better than you know yourself, you know. And so when you're talking to that source, there's nothing pretentious about it. There's nothing there's no acting out. There's no trying to be a certain way. There's nothing like that, because it's the most comfortable thing in the world, even though some people would think it's the most uncomfortable thing in the world. And it really kind of humbles you, because you're talking with this creative source that has created the entire universe, and you're talking to that source, you know. And some people think, well, maybe God isn't a personal God. But, you know, I was thinking about it, and then I had to deal with that too. And I realized that, you know, some people might say it's just an pure awareness cloud over everything, and that's God. Well, really, somewhere if that is in a way true for the entire universe, and the empty space, God is filling that space as well. But there has to be a point where everything comes from, you know what I mean? Like, there's always a leader in everything. There's always a focal point is really what I'm looking for. And that's when I realized, and I felt a lot better, that I know that God is a personal God, and you can have a relationship. And also there are some scriptures that really make that very clear. There's one that Jesus quoted out of Deuteronomy, the Old Testament, and Jesus had to watch his P's and Q's with the Pharisees. That they wanted to get him. So he said a lot of things but he would always quote something that was in the Old Testament. So they probably had stones in their hands ready to stone him. They did not like him. And so, but that said, he had a scholar ask him, and actually the scholar, I think, had good intentions, and he asked him, what is the very best commandment? What is the best thing? And Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your heart and your soul and your mind. And the funny thing is, the Gita says the same thing, the exact same thing. And so in the Gita it says, talks about the different, what they call yogis, but yogi is just a path. And it says that these are the very best yogis. All the yogis are good, but these are the very best yogis, those who love me, you know, kind of thing. Yeah. So it really does come back to love with this wonderful source we have. And so what I kind of learned from that, but more I realized, I don't know how long ago, maybe a couple years ago, that Jesus talked out loud. And I feel, to me, it's an example. He did that as an example. He didn't do it all the time, but he did a few times in the scriptures. And I feel the example was, just as I'm saying, that we would talk to God out loud during the day through our lives. And the other example for that, when I'm trying to think what the other one was, the Gita. Oh, there was a brother, I talked with David about this too, Brother Lawrence.
Brother Lawrence, yeah,
Yes,
Brother Lawrence
yeah.
of the Carmelite, yeah.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and he lived in the 1600s, so he decided he had a rough time in the army or something. He didn't want to really be there, but he was there and he got caught, and they were going to kill him, and then they said, no, just go. So he decided he was going to become a monk and just try and love God, and that was all he did. And he tried to put that in his mind first. It took him a number of years, but and I've read a little book called The Practice of the Presence of God. I'd like to say he wrote it, but all it is letters that he wrote to people who wanted to know, what is it you have that, what do you do? And all he does is he talked to God and practiced loving God as much as he could.
I might add just that Brother Lawrence, he said he believed that we should be talking to God all the time. We should be acknowledging, our source all the time. And for him, for Brother Lawrence, he thought you could make any act that you do an act of worship, if with the right attitude. And so he was a cook at the monastery, and so he was constantly, talking to God and recognizing that, we live and move and have our being in God, and he was constantly just reminding himself of that. So no matter what he was doing, whether he was cleaning or he was washing dishes or he was cooking, he was always in remembrance. He was practicing the presence that God is here, right now. And in unity, we believe that we live and we move and we have our being in God, in spirit. And you mentioned one interesting thing is that Jesus said that even before we ask prayer, God knows what we need. So, we're spirit. We are spirit. Like Jesus said, I and the Father are one. And he realized his oneness with spirit. And that oneness with spirit is closer than your breath, closer than your jugular vein is what they say. But that spirit is with us and knows everything on our mind, even before we ask. But we need to remember that. We need to remember that spirit is our source, is our being, that we are living and moving and having our being in that. And that was all what Brother Lawrence was all about, was just us remembering that we're never apart from God.
And there's another very beautiful thing about this that I hope some can really grasp it. But first of all, if you do that, if you begin to talk with God during your day, so basically every day, you don't have to be doing it all day long, but first of all, God becomes your best friend. It's somebody you can always talk to, and it's always there. So the other nice thing that is interesting is in that light, you're never alone. So I see a lot of people walking around, and very intelligent people and very hardworking people, but at the end of the day, it just seems you can see they feel alone, and I think we all experience that. But by talking with God, it's hard to explain, but you feel that you're never alone, and you feel that you always have a friend, and you feel really you can, relax with life a little bit more. And you've always got, this relationship actually becomes a relationship. I mean, how can you, first of all, when I said about when loving God, that's a big thing there. It's like the best path, Mm-hmm. And yet, how do you love something you've never seen, you've never heard, you've never talked to? So you have really, I know before I started like this, before I got this idea, because when I looked at Jesus, I said, you know what? And I think Paul did too, because I'll mention that right now, but in a minute. Jesus must have been talking, had a relationship with God in his head all the time, talking. And that's why he was Jesus, I guess, But Paul said something in 1 Thessalonians, I think it's 5:17, pray without ceasing. And I've always thought, and like heard that over the years, and how could you possibly do that? I mean, we're so busy, we got so many things to do, but if you relate with God during the day, that relationship starts to grow inside of you, and you become always, it follows you in everything you do. And all of a sudden, you are almost with God all day, because it's like a best friend. I see young girls sometimes in the mall or something, and just around that age of 12 or 13, and you can tell they're best friends, and they do everything together. Everything, and they're having fun together and laughing and looking at clothes and everything. And it's sort of like that. The source is always, that presence begins to be with you all the time. And that, I guess you could say, is mystical. And you actually will become a different person. And you have something that you would not want to let go, no matter, it's actually, I personally, I find basically, as long as I have that relationship, I don't care I really don't care what happens. It's the most important thing in the world. So, you can't understand it, and yet you do it. And you might say, well, you need a special calling for that. No, I think all you have to do is just try it, and just stay with it. Now, the thing that's going to happen is your ego mind's going to say, no, this ain't happening, And you have to understand that this actually is actually pushing the ego out, because it's got no place in you anymore, because the God mind is moving in. And there's a way to actually work with that. And what you do is, when you have your thinking mind, and just listen to what you're doing, that ego mind, and jumps in and gives you, as Eckhart Tolle says, starts telling you stories, about other people, about the way they are, usually always negative. Everything's negative. So when you find yourself, and what I do is, when I find myself in a story, and the story will either be like negative about something, or the government or somebody, or in the story I'm doing a wonderful thing. I'm the one who knows everything, and I'm giving everybody good advice and everything. And it's just a story. What I realized, the way you can work with it is, as soon as you realize that's a story, you stop it. Okay, you might be in the middle of it, and sometimes I want to hear the end of that story, because I'm looking real good in it. And you just stop it, and you just start talking to God, because that is positive. It is a very strong positive, and it just kind of takes over. So that negative energy that was starting to move in, you stop it dead. And if you didn't do anything, believe me, it'll be back in a few seconds. I'm sure you've all experienced that. But if you start talking, you'll feel the positive energy going and coming in. So you're just replacing that. And every time that negative ego starts to work, you can stop it. You just start talking. And it doesn't matter what you say, just start saying something. And you're going to feel closer and closer. You're feeling a love for this person, this being that you're talking with all the time. You can bare your soul to. And so I would like, if people, here or online want to try that, you can let me know if it works for you. Again, the other force is going to be fairly strong, is not going to want it, but if you just know that your force, that the force of positive, of love, and is going to be stronger, you may find yourself a different person.
I'd like to just add that what you said about love is the key. Love, and Jesus did say, love the Lord your God with your whole heart and mind and soul. And again, it's where you're putting your focus. Are you putting it on yourself, on your ego? Or are you putting it on your source? And another thing that Jesus said, he said about loving God with your whole heart and mind and soul, he also said, love your neighbor as yourself. And he said there, he was asked for he was asked for the one greatest commandment. Jesus gave him two, maybe three if you look at it, because he said to love the Lord your God with your whole heart, mind, and soul. And the second one is just like it, and that is to love your neighbor like yourself. And then so love your neighbor, and then also love you, love yourself. So there's, he asked for one commandment.
Yes.
It's really three of them in
Yes.
there. Yeah.
I always thought Jesus said that. I thought he made that up. But that's in the Old Testament
It's in the Old Testament too, right? It is.
he had to watch what he said, but he was smart. He was smarter than they were. So
Yeah.
So
So we do have a little bit of time for people to. Did you have one more thing to say that you wanted to? But we do have. Yeah. Well, I also
the
know I
meditation.
wanted to give people a chance to ask a question if you're interested. If you'd like to
questions?
take.
Yes.
Yeah. If you
Okay.
want to take. Who
Sure.
has the microphone? You do. Could you? Does anybody have a question to Michael? If you do, we do have an opportunity to ask him any questions that you might have.
It's kind of it was hard for me to do this. It's a very personal thing, and but it's worked so well for me that it's changed who I am. So in an inner way.
Mm-hmm.
And then the nice thing about it, there's a couple nice things about it. It is totally non-religious in the way that this could be done or introduced to any religion without like stepping on any toes. You know what I mean? Because it's something you do within yourself. Nobody ever knows. And you have this relationship that is just wonderful after a while. It might not be at first. Don't expect to just do it and it's going to happen right away. But it's not hard to do. And so as a matter of fact, when I meditate now I start by talking. When I call it, by the way, divine conversation. So we're doing a divine conversation here, but it's the perfect title for it. And it's something you can do yourself.
So I am going to ask you to lead us in a meditation in a minute, but I do, if there are any questions that you have, there are a couple. Mariette over here has a question. Oh, and Violet, hi. Of course. Yeah. It's not on. We got to, and put it really close to your mouth. Close.
Michael, I just wanted to mention how
There we go.
how appreciative I am to even know you, and you just simplified some major truths in what you said. You are a true teacher. You have a lot to offer. And another thing that I've noticed about you since I met you, when I returned back to Unity after traveling away from home, and that you are so cooperative and supportive for everyone within the community. Mm-hmm. And I agree with, I'm sure all of us here know that you and Carol Ann have been great supporters for the Unity. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Violet.
I just want to mention while we have a moment here, while we're getting the microphone around, that this will always do something. It will do something to you. You'll find after a while you feel very childlike. It's a humility that's very, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I guess when you're talking to the creator of the entire universe, there's no really room for pride there, and you're used to being like a little child, and it's an odd feeling though. It's difficult to, you have to kind of adjust to it because you can become sort of like another person. Okay, question.
Hi, Michael. I was wondering, if you could give us a little example of how you talk to God, like, dear God, like that? Like you just start talking about your day or something?
Yeah, so how you would do it, right? Yeah, to me, it's like when we pray, we kind of do it formal, you know, great, loving, wonderful God. And I still do that. The title I choose is, I like, one of my favorite ones is Loving One. And because loving describes the character of God, and one is the oneness that everything is God. And so you might have to kind of figure out what you want to call our wonderful source. And but it's like, okay, say you're driving your car and it breaks down, you know. And you think, okay, I might just, and sometimes they bring a little humor into it, and I say, oh, I think we have a problem here, and you know, and I think we may need some help here. And I say, Loving One, I just want to ask you for your help here, because I know that I'm supposed to be somewhere in half an hour, you know, or whatever, you know, and just like a best friend, and then God becomes your best friend. It's fairly easy if something's really not working to and you're also letting go of the thing when you do that. Yeah. You give it to Source, and then you're letting go of it. So then. It's so much easier on you. You know, you just say, well, okay, this is what I think I'm going to do. And of course, you're not going to get an actual voice speaking back to you, but you're going to know that you were heard. I can guarantee it.
It's so interesting because in Unity, we really emphasize the impersonal. You know, God is not a person. God is everywhere present as being, like is everything, in everything and as everything, you know, as the ultimate. And so there's that, and then there's, like you say, Jesus called God Father and made God a focal point of fatherhood for him. Mm-hmm. And so made that personal. So it's a decision we make for ourselves, I suppose, whether we want to do that or not. And it's an interesting exploration, isn't it, to make it personal. Loving One, that's beautiful. I know in Unity we talk about God is not loving, God is love, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. But yet if God is love, like, that's a lot of loving going on. Yes. So, like, sometimes we can get too persnickety, I wonder, you know?
Yes.
And then we lose out, right, with that personal relationship.
All right. So we're running out of time, so I'm going to...
I'll just wrap it up.
Yeah.
So one more thing I'll mention then, brought to mind, was that Jesus said we could move mountains, you know. Well, our spirituality and our consciousness has been rising, but it seems like there's something holding us back. And I think part of it is we're thinking of our source as something nebulous and far away. And we need to understand that everything going, and like some of the quotes we've had from the Bible, but Jesus' example, very strong, is that, we need to walk with God as Adam and Eve did in the garden. And when they did, they had this wonderful relationship. And then came the tree of good and evil, and they hid from God. They were afraid of God. And I think we still have a lot of that going, actually. A lot of religions do that think that God's going to throw you in hell forever to burn. Forever. I mean, can you imagine what kind of wouldn't even be a sane God if it would do that to someone, you know? We didn't even ask to be here, and now we're going to fry forever for what? For being a human being, you know? So, like, whatever. So, but anyway, so I think that personal relationship, one of the reasons I wanted to say this, and when God is referred to as something far away, and it bothers me. It hurts me, you know. So that's it.
Okay, thank you, Michael. So I'm going to invite you to lead us in a meditation.
Oh yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, okay. Just adjust yourself in your seat, and sometimes I find I have to get right up in the front there to get my knees down a little bit, and my back straight, and just take a moment now. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with the breaths as you usually do, and I'm going to just have we're going to actually do some counting, but I want to say before I forget that we're going to do it for just a short couple minutes, and then some music's going to come in, and at that point you can continue to breathe and listen to the music, or you can just stop the formal breathing that we're going to be doing, which really isn't that formal. And so either way, whatever is most comfortable for you. And then at the end of the music, the meditation will be over. So what we're going to do is we're going to count the in breaths. So it's going to be in. We're breathing in 2, 3. And usually I go to 4, but some people may not be able to hold their breath that long. So we'll just use 3 for today. And then you hold. Now there is a type of breathing called 4-4 breathing, where then you hold for 3 or 4 more. But we're just going to not count that. We're going to breathe the in breath, and then we're just going to wait for a few seconds, and we're going to observe what's there. What I mean, the empty space that's there. I don't want to say nothingness, because it's not nothingness, it's everything, but it's there. So you're just going to observe this moment happening, and inside of your consciousness. And then we're going to release 1, 2, 3. I'll say release 2, 3, and then we're going to look at that space again. So we're just going to be in that space that some people say God lives in, where it's in Zen it's called no mind. So your mind is just empty, and we're not the. So I'll just say this one more thing, that the counting gives your thinking mind, your ego mind, something to keep it busy, but not to overwhelm it. It's just something to keep it busy so that it doesn't run off on you. And the looking at the space is just being in the moment. So we'll start that now. And in, 2, 3, and release, 2, 3. In, 2, 3. Release, 2, 3. In breath, 2, 3. Releasing, 2, 3. In, 2, 3. Release, 2, 3. In breath, 2, 3. Release, 2, 3. In, 2, 3. Release, 2, 3. In, 2, 3. Release, 2, 3.
So allow yourself to bring yourself back into this room, back into this space. Take another deep breath. And just allow yourself to feel the presence of Spirit in this room, the Spirit that we live and move and have our being in, the Spirit that is our life, that is our source, the Spirit which is our strength and the power that we have, our wisdom. It's all here right now, and it's always with us. And with that knowledge that we are never alone, that Spirit is with us, leading us each and every step of this journey with us, let's just feel a great amount of gratitude for that fact. And so it is. Amen. Michael, thank you so much for being here. Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Thank you for sharing with us, and it was a pleasure. Yeah.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, that was a great conversation. Thank you so much, both of you, because it was such simple practicality, spirituality. Thank you, because I just got so much from it. So thank you very much.
I like that. Simple, spiritual practicality. I like that.
Yeah, you really took I think what Violet said was really accurate. You just took some real solid truths and just made it so practical for all of us. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Yes, thank you, Michael. And all being here. And Angelica, thank you again for that beautiful music. We certainly appreciate you.
And thank you, Jennifer, for watching out for us and doing all your computer tech over there.
So at this time, let us take to heart our vision, mission, and statement of being, which is shown on the screen.
We have a global vision. Will you please speak it with me? Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening.
And we have a sacred mission. Will you say it with me? We inspire and empower spiritual growth to awaken us and transform the world.
And we have a personal statement of being. Will you please say that with me?
I am
a dynamic center of the Christ light, mighty to unfold my good and radiate that good to all.
So we do have a few announcements for you today, and a few that are not weren't here until I put them here this morning. We do have a book clearance, so we have put tables out in the hallway upstairs, and so all of those books we are trying to clear out. A lot of there's fiction, there's biographies, there's all sorts of books. But anyway, $1 if you are there. All the books are being sold as a fundraiser for us. But if you see a book and you don't have the money, take it. Okay, because so all of the books that are in the hallway are there for for us to look through them. There's some really good books. There really are. And then also to let you know, Unity puts out an Advent booklet every year for Advent with daily devotionals for the whole time of Advent. And many, many people in Unity really enjoy that little devotional. So it's for the whole Advent season. We just got them in, so they're out there in the lobby. So help yourself to. It's called The Comfort of Christmas, and so it looks at Christmas through this perspective of unity, and it's a lovely little book. It's yours as our gift. And so there's some on the big table out there, sitting there for you, and there's also some in the racks over there. But please remember to take one with you. Okay. And then also, on Wednesday nights, we have a class that is called Wednesday Wisdom and Transformation. And that is 6:30 to 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. There's only 2 more that are going to be meeting because of the Christmas season coming up. And so the next 2 Wednesdays, we will have our class. It's been a great class. Really have enjoyed it. It's been a small group of people. We've been talking about spiritual growth, about awakening, about transformation, and we've had some really rich discussions. So there's 2 more weeks, 2 more Wednesdays of that. And then just to let you know, I am taking a vacation, and I will be leaving on November the 18th, and I won't be back until December the 9th. So that's one of the reasons we're stopping the class. But also, by the time I come back, we're going to be full swing into the Christmas season. So anyway, just want to let you know that. And that's all I have to say about that.
So next Sunday, we will not be having our regular service because next Sunday, November 10th, is our 2nd annual Fall Wellness Fair. And at this time, I'm going to invite Claudio, who heads up our Wellness Fair team, to tell us more about this exciting event.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to leverage off of you, Michael, today, because you got everybody in cohesiveness and breathing. And so I want to do an open eye meditation where you're going to visualize what's happening, because starting around 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, you're going to see a whole bunch of people coming into this chapel. So can you visualize that? A whole bunch of people happy, right? Full of energy, ready to exchange energies, right? It's always a 2-way, right? Not a 1-way. And then you're going to see David. It's going to be the MC. All right, and you're going to see he's going to announce 3 guest speakers. We got Justin Tuin, we got Yvonne Brown, and Jenny Natashak. All right, so the beautiful, beautiful speakers. Jenny Natashak, David's going to do a divine conversation with. All right, so you can see the place nice and full, and beautiful conversations going on. Right, in between guest speakers, Unity's music team is going to be doing some live performances. So we're going to have some really awesome music. All right. So you can picture people in here just groove into the music, right? So now we're going to head down the hallway, and you're going to see the artwork, and people just absolutely loving all the artwork that's out there. Okay, and thank you, Steph, for what you're doing with that. Wow, the new stuff's up, right? Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So then you're going to go over to the community room, and you're going to see 26 vendors, people, I don't even want to call them vendors. They're there. They're all here for free. We're doing sharing this day, okay? It's sharing of energies. We're not bringing that money thing in. No, it's just all sharing of energies, right? Back and forth, right? So you're going to see all kinds of people in there. And then you're going to walk over to the villa, and it's full. We got 7 people doing energy work, right? So then you're going to make your way, and you're going to go upstairs. And there's going to be a whole bunch of free plant-based food, all right? And thank you, Janet, because she's really jumping in, and wow. Thank you for what you're doing. So we're going to have beautiful food. There's going to be a pizza oven outside. We're getting tight. It's probably going to make it, so we're also going to have free pizzas going upstairs. Then you're going to take a little bit of walk around. We're going to have a book sale. We're going to have prayers, right? People walking in and out, getting some help with some prayers. You're going to see people going in and out of the meditation room. And then you're going to see 4 workshops. You got Michael Mascarell doing his Synergy workshop. You got Tammy doing her Introduction to Soul Notes. You got Devani doing chair yoga. And then you have one more. We got Jerry doing his relationality workshop. So you can see that this place is going to be in and out, full of beautiful people, all making exchanges, making connections. And that's where just a little flavor of what's going on. It's full. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Thank you to Annette. Picture Annette. She's done a lot of work in the background. Devani and the media team. It's all awesome. And I'm missing people like Linda, if you can see Linda and her team at both the entrances. And everybody's chipping in, and it's awesome.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes.
Appreciate that. Great job, Claudio. Yeah, thank you, Claudio. Absolutely. Oh, and also just we are looking for more volunteers. So talk to Claudio if you're interested in doing some volunteer work for the wellness fair. And also Maria. Maria, are you here? Yeah. Yeah, she's upstairs taking care of hospitality. So Maria is sort of needing some extra help too as well, just throughout each Sunday to help us with all of our hospitality upstairs. So if anybody would like to volunteer to help with hospitality, let me or Claudio know. Okay, thank you.
Today at 12:30, Nelson Ing will be hosting a drumming circle, and all are welcome.
First Sunday of every month, we have drumming here in the community room, and we have a lot of fun. It is. Drumming is a lot of fun. It really is. Yeah. Also, just FYI, on November the 7th, Unity Canada, we present workshops. We've been doing them first Thursdays of the month. And this particular workshop, it's a webinar. It's a Zoom webinar. It's free of charge. It is we would appreciate a love offering, but Unity Canada is providing these, and Cynthia Vermillion Foster is a facilitator. Cynthia is a fantastic workshop facilitator, and this particular workshop is welcoming the artist, leadership and creativity. This is for people in leadership, but anybody is welcome, and her workshops are really wonderful. So this is an online. It's on November the 7th, and I believe it's 2 to 4. But it is in our again. All of the information is on our website and also on our in our newsletter. And you would have to register, so you have to go online and register if you want to take it. But it's a good workshop coming up.
Okay, good information. As a reminder, our prayer chaplain, Mariette Jones, is available to pray with you
There
directly
she is, right
after
over there.
the service upstairs in the prayer room. Thanks, Mariette.
Thank you, Mariette. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so all of our classes, programs, and services are made possible by your generous donations. And so our heartfelt thanks for your continuous support. And we've created a lot of easy ways for you to give online. So all you have to do is go on our website, and you can do a contribution there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? And of course,
that's a good
your time,
point, yeah.
your time, and again, we are so grateful for all of our volunteers, and we have just a wonderful volunteer team here. So thank you.
We have a love offering box near the foyer door with offering envelopes and pens where you can drop in your tithe or love offering as you leave the chapel. Again, thank you, and bless you all for your generous donations.
Also, for those of you who want a tax receipt for your giving, you'll need to make sure you put your name legible so we can read it, and so that we can make sure at the end of the year you get your tax receipt. So at this time, we invite you to go ahead and stand up, and we're going to close out with our love offering blessing. Then we're going to have the peace song, and then close with our prayer for protection.
Divine love
Through
in
me
and through me
blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let
The light of the love surrounds us.
We are light.
The love of the divine enfolds us.
We are love.
The peace of love fills us.
We are peace.
The power of love protects us.
We are power.
The presence of love watches over us.
We are presence.
And wherever we are, God is.
All is divine.
And my friends, truly you are divine. Thank you for being here. And please join us upstairs for refreshments. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Now I've been happy lately, thinking about the good things to come. And I believe it could be something good has begun. Oh, I've been smiling lately, dreaming about the world as one. And I believe it could be someday it's going to come. 'Cause out on the edge of darkness, there rides a peace train. Oh, peace train, take this country, come take me home again. Now I've been smiling lately, thinking about the good things to come. And I believe it could be something good has begun. Oh, peace train sounding louder, ride on the peace train. Ooh, ooh. Come on, the peace train. It's peace train, holy roller. Everyone jump on the peace train. Come on, the peace train. Get your bags together. Go bring your good friends too. 'Cause it's getting nearer. It soon will be with you. Come and join the living. It's not so far from you. And it's getting nearer. Soon it will all be true. Oh, peace train sounding louder. Ride on the peace train. Come on, the peace train. Peace train. Now I've been crying lately, thinking about the world as it is. Why must we go on hating? Why can't we live in bliss? 'Cause out on the edge of darkness, there rides a peace train. Oh, peace train, take this country, come take me home again. Oh, peace train sounding louder, ride on the peace train. Come on, the peace train. It's peace train, holy roller. Everyone jump up on the peace train. Ooh, ooh. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, come on, peace train. Hey, yes, it's the peace train.